I went back to my comic shop. Well, doesn't really it doesn't show anything on here, but this is from my comic shop, and we're going to see, fingers crossed, if the books I bought were hopefully conservatively graded right after this. Welcome back to another video. In the past, especially if you've seen my review of my comic shop, I've always been a pretty big fan of the quality of the comics, of the customer service. The big problem with me has always been their shipping. And I'll put the link to the video up here as well as in the description, so you can watch it if you're interested. But like I said, the big thing has been always been the shipping. For some reason, their shipping is a lot higher than everybody else. So for example, with Midtown Comics, you could buy like 20 books and it'll go from the UPS/USPS, whatever they call it. That service where the UPS handles it up until the final postal delivery thing. And with Midtown, it's like $6.99 flat fee or $9.99 flat fee for like up to 20 books. With my comic shop, it's like, it starts out at like $8 for one or two books. And then, every couple of books you add, it could go up to like $15 for only 5 or 6 books. And it's the same thing. They both use UPS to postal service, which always threw me. Plus, with my comic shop, they don't have any option for free shipping, whatsoever. Some places $89, like Midtown. Graham Crackers, I think, is $75 or $99. Dreamland, something like that, $99 or $75. You get free shipping. My comic shop does not do any free shipping. So that's always a concern, especially because, if you buy one book and you have to pay like $7, $8 for shipping, the shipping could cost more than the book if it's a great deal on the book. So it's like, it makes it very difficult to work with some of these stores in that regard. But talking aside, let's get into it. And as I said in the intro, there's a few books that I bought hoping that they are conservatively graded, and they're not actually the grades that they say. And you'll see when I get to them. But this is why I do love my comic shop. Their shipping is amazing. Not their shipping, but their packaging is amazing. So you can see it's a full-size box. They use the paper tape all around for security. And these boxes do not open very easily. So it's not like you could accidentally open the box. So it's a hinged lid. And you can see they give you styrofoam corner boards plus paper. And you can see how thick the cardboard is. It's, like, look how thick this is. This is folded over, so it's not just a, it's not just a backer board on each side in an envelope. This is really secure packaging, which I absolutely love. And a lot of other stores could learn from this. So this I'm going to keep for myself. And let's get into, also, I like what they do with this too. They use bags. So the whole thing is completely sealed from the elements. So like right now, what's today? Today's January 22nd. In the whole south of the country, it's like freezing cold, rain, snow. It's like if you saw in New Orleans, people are playing ice hockey in the streets. That's how cold it is there. In Texas, they had to shut down. My comic shop had to shut down the 2 days after I ordered this because of the weather. It was too cold for them to go there. They just go into work. So I had to wait 2 days, 4 days, I think it was, because I ordered it on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday they shut down. They don't operate Saturday and Sunday, so I had to wait like 5 days from the time I placed my order to the time it shipped. But That's, the snow, the cold, the elements, all that moisture, that bag sealed around this inside of that pack, inside that box, that provides another layer of protection against the weather. So, always a thumbs up for them when it comes to this stuff. So now let's take a look. So starting with, okay, we're going to start with this. This is Speedball number 2 from the limited series. These were part of their weekly dollar sale. So we've got one newsstand, one direct copy, both $1 each, and they're both fines, as you can see here. They're both rated a fine. Now, these I bought just for, because it's, they were $1, and it helped bring down the average cost of everything else when you factor everything in. So if we take a look. So yeah, there's not, you could see that we have creasing up along the top. There's, where was the other creasing? Should be creasing along here. If I just saw it and I already can't remember where it is. It was creasing along the edges. You have a couple of dents. Try to get you a good angle on some of them because they're very small. Like here, you have one here, you have a little one here. So, but the reason I bought these is because, well, I didn't know about this, but these are bright white pages. So, the structure is sound. Staples are firm. The cover's clean. I was actually hoping that, that the covers would be dirty on these books. All of them that I'm buying, all of these that that I bought in the hopes of getting them at a low price and then being able to clean them, press them, and, raise their values. I'm just trying to reclaim the tape here. Yeah, so that was the newsstand. That was the, what do you call it? That was the direct copy. This is the newsstand. So as I was saying, like, I was hoping that they got fine grades because they were dirty, more so than because they had spine ticks or tears or anything like that. And yeah, so this is what I was kind of hoping against. So this is the newsstand, and it's, it's less reflective. Let me see if I could compare the two, if it shows up. So this is the dirtier one. This, you could just see, this one just looks a lot better than this one. And especially if you look at the back. We compare the backs, there's, well, I might have the light too bright, but you can see the difference between the one on the top and the one down here. This one's a lot more yellowed and more dingy. So we'll go back to the newsstand one, and this one's also a little bit less on the interior. You can see on this page. No, this page. So you can see it's a little bit more yellowed, especially towards the towards the spine over there. So, like I said, I only bought these Speedball books because, it was $1 each. I wasn't really too concerned with what that was. Then we've got, and for those, like I said, I paid $1 for that. It comes up being $1.97 because of shipping and sales tax. Unfortunately, that's the big thing. That's why I say I'm very down on buying from here because of the shipping rates. I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books. And the shipping was $11.80. You figure 14 books, I could get $6.99 shipping from Midtown on that, with that amount. And again, same thing, but $14, $11.80 14 books, it's 97 cents, 84 cents additional. On these dollar books, you're doubling the cost. So it's like, but neither here nor there. So the next one I have here is Blood Syndicate #2. This is a very fine, also from their dollar sale. I like buying these oh my god, the milestone books. Because I think they are very undervalued. Not just the icon #1 or static #1, but all of them are pretty undervalued because they're all really good. They're really good characters and really good stories. So this one, really nice white pages. We can see, hopefully, you can see through here. Can I get, right there. You can see that there's that reader's crease or something going up and down. I don't even know if it's a reader's crease because it's very uniform. So it might be a printer's crease, actually, because it's very uniform going all the way through. And as far as spine goes, you can't really see anything. I really don't see any spine ticks. So for a very fine, for $1, and you can see these corners are very sharp. It kind of looks like it's trimmed, but I doubt anybody would trim a Blood Syndicate #2, to be honest. But you never know. Then we've got this is New Mutants #8, also a fine. And this is one of the books that I bought hoping that the grade would be more conservative, or that it would be a lower, a fine because it was dirty and could be cleaned more so than there was any tears or anything like that. And I think this has something to do with Magma. I think this is the origin of Magma. New Mutants #8. Yeah, first appearance and origin of Magma. So that's a minor key there. What did I pay for this? I paid $285, $395 with shipping and tax. So again, if I can, and I see that there's something that is a little bit scary on the front. Looks like it could be a tear. So yeah, so I saw this. And it's not a tear. Yes, it is a tear. Okay. So we can see there that it's a tear. And this corner here also is a little bit chewed, but okay, so the rest of the book got a little bit of a miswrap. And you can see because, we have the white coming over the front, but also it's thicker down the bottom than at the top. So we've got a little bit of tearing. On the back, we have a little creasing over here. We have some dirty stuff over here. There's not much else. Try to get a different angle. So there was another little crease somewhere, but for the most part, like you can see a little bit of a chip there on the corner. But for the most part, it is cleaned. We have some printer ink roll there. And so top. So the corners have little checks out of them. So that might actually be the printing issue. As you could see on these interior, you can see the interior also, they have a little bit of that, it's like off, like they're chipped, they're not cut properly. So, like I said, I bought some of these hoping that the grades would be indicative of something that's not structural, but more dirt. And First issue and first appearance and origin of Magma failed that test. So we'll move on. This is Thor number 18, Thor annual number 18. You can see it's a near mint. This one I paid $250 and $358 after shipping and tax. It's a direct edition. It should be still sealed in the bag. And this is the, I don't know, first appearance of Loki as a woman or something like that. But I figured, you know, for $2.50, $358 all in, sealed still with the trading card, blah, 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 all that stuff. You know, it could have been an interesting buy. You know, that's the reason why I bought it. Then we've got, okay, 2 copies of Alpha Flight number 19. And they're both direct copies. This is, what the hell is her name? Two young men. Can't think of her first name. Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna look it up to not sound stupid or more stupid. Elizabeth Two Youngsmen. Thank you. Elizabeth Two Youngsmen becomes Talisman. One is a very fine. Oh, they're both very fine, actually. Okay, and these were $3.04 for $4.15 all in. Again, a very fine. I was hoping that these would be conservatively graded so that we can maybe clean it and get it to the near mint area, because, you know, for Alpha Flight collectors, this is a decent key. And it actually does look pretty good. Now, the one thing that, and you'll also see in the video that I did, these are both, you could just see here, VF and VF. On the website, one of them was listed as a VF 8.0 and the other one was just listed as a VF. So for their, you know, for my comic shop grading tools, anything under $10 is not on the 10-point scale, or before 1980 or something like that. I don't exactly remember. You'll see it in the video that, you know, I linked to. But, you know, it just, sometimes it's just confusing, because it's like, well, if you're telling me that these are both VFs, why make one of them a VF 8.0 and make the other one just a regular VF? It just doesn't make sense. It gets confusing. So you can see here, here's the spine. You have a little bit of a crease or something there. But you have a little bit of a tick here, but the rest of the spine is fairly clean, which is nice. The rest of it, especially because it's black. And if we look at the back of it, we also have a pretty clean spine. Slightest miswrap, because you can see here that the front cover does pull over to the back a little bit, but ever so slightly. And the pages are okay. Nothing too tremendous, but they are pretty white. They're not brown, which is okay. Now we'll look at the second one. And this is the second one. Take a look at the spine. We've got a dent here. And again, that's about it. Also, you can see the cover is going to be, when we look at the back, the cover is going to be a little bit miswrapped as well. But again, ever so slightly. We've got something sticking out, which is a piece of the page. That's a printing issue, where it's like where it was cut with maybe a dull blade, where the page didn't get cut smoothly. I'm getting towards it. So a couple of the pages right here, they have that little piece that got caught in the printer and in the cutter. So that's generally fine by any grading company, because it's generally a printing defect. But otherwise, now you see a little bit fading up here, but nothing too tremendously terrible. If you look at the bottom, you know, The edges are really nice and sharp. And you can see again, very, very, very slight miswrap on the back end. So I'm pretty good with that. Then we've got Blood Syndicate number 9 in a very fine. This is also from the dollar section. I'm really not going to go open up these because they really don't. Blood Syndicate, I think it's like in the 30s. They have tremendous value. Like they're worth like $20, $30 or whatever. We'll go. Yeah, we'll grab these two. Another copy of number 2, another copy of number 9, Blood Syndicate. All from the $2, from the dollar bin, which again I ended up paying $2 for with shipping and tax. And then we've got one more copy of Magma, first appearance and origin of Magma, again in a fine. We'll see if this one is any better. And then we'll get to the bigger books. All right, so if we start with the back, it's fairly clean. There's, you can see there's a little creasing here. Not much going on, but there is a little bit of creasing along the spine, along the back cover. I'm trying to see if I could get it. Yeah, you can see right here, right here, going through here, there's a crease up here, and then there's some color rub, but nothing terrible. The pages are off-white to white, not brown, which is good. Front cover, again, slight miswrap because you can see the white on the front side instead of the back, but again, nothing too terrible. Structurally, the spine looks really good. We have a spine tick here, but for a fine, that's not too terrible. We've got here, this yellow mark here. I think that's just a printing defect because here's the other one. What am I doing? Here's the other one, and it's in the same exact place. So if we put these side by side, and you can see that the colors are different too. But you can see that here we have that yellow mark exactly in the same place on both of them. So that's a printing issue, not hold on. Yeah, not a damage issue. And I just want to switch because here's this one. Don't have a tear, but we have a little bit of creasing here. So again, strike 2. We tried, you never know. Then we've got Alpha Flight number 51. This is direct copy. This is a fine as well. This one cost $342 and $456 with shipping. And this one is, what is this, the first cover art, or is this the first interior? I think this is the first cover art by Jim Lee. This is first full issue with interior. So yeah, so this is like a little, what was that Christmas, that holiday thing that he did? That was, I guess, was the first official interior, but this is his first full book with his own work. Pages look pretty nice and white. Front cover, we've got a little bit of a stacking curl. You can see here how, like, you can see the little scoop there. Nothing too bad, but the yellows are nice and bright. We have like a little bit of a spine tick or a breaking color there, a little bit there. Another one here. That's not the staple. But for the most part, clean. Corners are pretty good. And yeah, this got a little bit of a, hopefully that's a crease and not, yeah, that's just creasing through the cup, through all of the pages, it looks like. So that's not too bad. Back cover. Yeah, you can see like a little bit of dirt, a little bit of creasing through here. It's hard to pick up because the creasing on the white is just very hard to pick up for the camera. But yeah, so this is one of those, this is a hit. This is not a miss. This is a hit, where this one is just, this is better than a fine. So this one I'm good with. Now comes the two bigger ones. These two I bought really, really hoping that there would be no tears, no anything, that all I would have to do is do some, some dry cleaning. At the worst, maybe go through a few presses. And these are Firestorm number 24. This is the first appearance of Blue Devil. This I've been looking for a long time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm just going to try it. They cost $3.42 base. So $4.56 total. So I figured if I could get this for $4.56, basically for like $4.50 each, and they're just dirty and just, maybe needs pressing, or maybe there was a spine, a stacking curl or something like that. If I could get that for $5 and then bring it up, that would be good. I don't know if I talked about it here. I think it was on the Bronze and Modern Gods YouTube channel. I think they had mentioned Justice League Dark, and I commented on their, I think it was them, where I've been collecting them, either them or Rob's Fat Stacks. I don't remember, one of the two. But I've been really lately focusing on looking for Green Lanterns and Justice League Darks. So if you've seen some of my other videos, I've picked up, one of each. I think it was Swamp Thing 49 and 50, a couple of copies of Swamp Thing Annual number 2. I already found a few copies of Blue Devil number 1, Blue Devil Annual number 1. I picked up 1 or 2 copies of. That's really hard to find too. Blue Devil Annual number 1 in decent condition. But yeah, this is just the next logical one for me, is first appearance of Blue Devil, and fingers crossed that these do not have any tears or anything, and hopefully that they're just need some care, because that would be awesome. So first glance, looks really nice. Okay, this is pretty much exactly the same as the Swamp Thing Annual number 2. The one that I got, super white pages. It's a thick book, so it's not square bound. You can see that it's still rounded, and you still have staples on the sides. Well, yeah, you have staples on the sides. It's rounded. It's not square bound, so it's not like a Marvel Annual. So it's a lot easier to press. But yeah, see, something like this is what I was hoping for. See, we have a little bit of a crease here. But otherwise, you look at the rest of it. This book is really clean. This is very clean. Corners are sharp. This one, yeah, this I like. You have a little bit of like a little dent there. Nothing too bad. We look at the front. Still, it's nice and clean. Corners are sharp. Even the spine isn't, it's like a little bit of a bindery tear, it looks like, but it's not a spine split or anything like that. We look at the bottom here, and, again, the spine is in pretty strong shape, and the corners are sharp. And if we look at the spine itself, I mean, it's a white spine. So, it's this one in particular, I am very excited for. Very, very happy with this one. So the second one isn't as good. I know that already, because I can see through the bag, and it's just not as good. But I mean, you can see it's a little bit darker. I don't know if you can see. So this is the one in the back is the first one that we saw. So you could see that there's this white does not match this white. This is a little bit more, more creamy than this one is. So that's okay. Something can be done with that. Also, you can see the curl on along the spine. You can see the I don't know why people don't call it like a fishtail or something like that. But yeah, so you can see that. Actually, you know what? It would probably be easier to look. Maybe pick it up better. Yeah, so you can see this from white down to a little bit creamy. So there's a little. So we've got that. I don't know if that's just because it's dirty. I'll try cleaning it, but it looks like it could be from tanning. But if we look, so we've got the spine, we've got a little bit of damage down here. We've got another dent right here by the new. It looks like there's some little bit of damage over here. Up here we have some. Yeah, this is not going to be. Yeah, this is not as good. A little bit more of a dent or a crunch. The back, you can see the pages. Everything's not flush. So that's probably because of this curve. I could probably fix that, but we also have the same crease. Sorry, the same crease in almost the same spot. Yeah, almost the same spot in the same direction. So they must have been laying the same way. They must have been stored together because one is a little bit higher, but they all come in the same angled direction. But yeah, this one, we have a little bit, I don't know if that's a tear. No, that's not a, no, we don't have a tear up there. That's just denting. But you can see that this one's in a little bit worse shape, but still probably not a fine, maybe a VF once I get the spine corrected. And, even in here, the pages aren't as white, but they are pretty white. And you can see how Firestorm pops off the page, how these yellows and the reds pop. So, also, there's something on here which just came off. Okay. But you could also see here, there's another deep crease right here, but it doesn't go through. It starts like right here. So it's maybe an inch long, but yeah, so this one needs a little bit more work than the first one, but so I would still call this a success. The first full interior by Jim Lee, I bought that as a fine. I think it's gonna be much bigger than a fine. One Firestorm 24, first appearance of Blue Devil, much better than a fine. The other one, I think we could get it to at least a very fine at the least with some good work. Marvel New Mutants #8, the first appearance and origin of Magma, those were both busts. Well, one was a bust, one was a sort of bust, but honestly, I could live with those two with the other ones. So I'm gonna get to cleaning and pressing and seeing if I can get those books really nice. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.